I like to get different thought process from different people and their thought process. How is he overtraining, or is he training right? How's the sparring going on? You know, like instead of hearing what he says, there's other people giving, you know, maybe their honest opinion on certain stuff. But I mean, look, I know Dillian. He's, you know, having spoken to him about the loss, he's more than determined than ever to rectify that and go out there and put on another good performance and just tighten up and make those adjustments to get the win. When you look at Povetkin, you know, people are talking about his age, but you know, as you saw, he's still got many miles on the clock. To pull a punch like that out of the bag, it was devastating to us. But I mean, it was a genius move from him, you know, because he was trying to get that uppercut, you know, earlier in the fight, and he was doing stuff that maybe people were overlooking. Now looking back at it, watching the fight a few times, he was doing some really good stuff in there. But because Dillian was boxing so well as well, some of the stuff he was doing was probably going unnoticed. You know what I mean? Mm. Going into the rematch, like I said, I don't think there's too much he needs to do. There's a few adjustments. If he makes those adjustments, you know, he should, you know, do the damage. At the same time, we know that he has power that can knock Dillian out. And, you know, how Dillian's mental capacity and mindset is on the night is only he will know, really. We can talk about it and he could say what he wants to myself and team members around. But going in there, knowing him, he's quite resilient and nothing seems to faze him too much. But when you go in there on the night, when the man's across the ring from you, and then you remember, look, I was giving him a pasting, but then he caught me. You know, is he going to be a bit more tentative to do stuff? Or, you know, there's many things that come into mind and question. I believe, you know, he's definitely going to want to make a statement, because at the end of the day, you know, like you want to try and get an eye for an eye. You know what I mean? I don't know if the W just alone is enough. I'm sure he's going to be looking for, you know, some form of maximum violence and hopefully getting a big stoppage to, you know, get redemption, as it would be. You know what I mean? But a win is a win. I'm sure he will take that, however that comes. But, you know, let's see what happens. But, you know, he deserves respect. You know, former world champion, Olympian, has only been beat by the likes of Anthony Joshua and the Klitschko Vladimir. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, his pedigree's high. And maybe they might feel on a high, thinking, well, look, we've done it once, we should be able to do it again. You know what I mean? This young upstart, you know, we're going to have another plan for him, you know what I mean? But let's see what comes November the 21st. I know I told he's training very hard, like a man possessed. So, and those were the exact words that were used. So, you know, let's see. November the 21st, he's got it all to do. It's quite a precarious situation, because before he was over 1,000 days as the mandatory, the WBC. Now you're on the position where it's like, you know, everything's on the line, everything's all to play. The dice has been rolled out, and because of that loss now, you know, 2 losses are unfathomable, unthinkable right now. You know, back-to-back losses, remnants of David Price and Tony Thompson. You know,
yeah.
So that was and look what it done to David Price's career. You know what I mean? Railroaded him, but. I believe, you know, Dillian's made of sterner stuff. No disrespect to David Price. He's a hell of a guy and, you know, individual. But Dillian is, the metal he's made up of is something different. So, you know, it's just one of them. But it's a big fight. It's all to do. It's all to play for.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on the night, I mean, just talk me through the sort of roller coaster, because as a team, it was a case of Dillian knocked Povetkin down, and did part of you think that this is it now? That this is the
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to AJ in the commentating box, laughing, saying, you know, he's doing a wonderful job. We coming for you lot shortly, man. You up next, boy. And then I heard the thundering sound of the knockout, and then I saw him kind of flying back. And it was truly horrifying because of there was no crowd. you literally could hear the crushing, thudding punch which connected. And you could hear the shots all night, really, but it was quite deafening and surreal. Yeah, looking back at that. But I mean, you know, he was in great command, and yeah, it's just one of those things, you know.
Yeah, anything can happen on the night, and like what you just said as well. You know, like he hasn't lost to someone who's on the way up or a journeyman. You know, it's an Olympian, former world champ, and only lost the likes of Joshua and Klitschko. So it's not a bad resume on paper, and you know, hats off to him for taking the rematch relatively soon as well. So you know, hopefully everything goes okay. Is it still, from what your knowledge is, still Dave Caldwell and Xavier Miller in the corner, or?
I'm not 100%. I think that was just for an extra pair of eyes on the night. I'm not privy to that information. Like I said at the minute, to know who's gonna, if there's gonna be anyone extra in the corner. I think that's something they made closer to the time and closer to the fight. I think such stuff will, you know, be revealed a little bit more in detail. But at the minute, Xavier's head coach, and you know, they're out there training, putting in the hard work, and you know, 3 weeks left, man. So you know, it's all to play, man. The time has gone very, very fast. Time is waiting for no one. We need to get rid of 2020, to be honest, with all this COVID bollocks and all this lockdown. Anyway, we need to throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told as well, but I've just had a text come through saying Derby's going to be possibly locked down on Saturday, so looks like I'll be cancelled today. So yeah, it's just one of those.
I think you better go for another run, sunshine.
Yeah, get it out of the way now. Yeah. So I take it you'll be watching the Matchroom card on Saturday night. So who's your picks on that? Usyk and Chisora? Another interesting fight.
Yeah, I think I'll maybe catch the main. I'm out Saturday. I won't be on lockdown. I got a party to go to.
6 people though, that's it. Just to party of 6, remember?
Yeah. So yeah, no. Social distance, everything's above board. You know, come on. Yeah, looking forward to Saturday. I'll probably catch the main event. It's going to be a very interesting fight, you know. When you look at the fight and you look at Usyk, the pedigree of Usyk is undeniable. It's reigned supreme at cruiserweight. It's come up to heavyweight after fighting Chaz Witherspoon. I think I made this mistake the other day calling him Winters a few times, but you know what? I was coming from a hard night on Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday, so I kept calling him Winters. So yeah, it was a bit of a mad one. So Chaz Witherspoon. So yeah, you know, I've watched that fight umpteen times, you know, and that was actually before that fight was even made, because I like to study fighters and watch their movements, you know, what they do and you know what their pet habits, what they do. Usyk's a master at nullifying people with subtle pressure, and he lets them work and gets them tired and drowns them. He's phenomenal at that. Somewhat reminds me of what Khabib did on Saturday to Gagey. That pressure, that constant pressure right in front, just enough to keep them on the back foot, pedaling, and the water gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Yeah, so he's someone that's got that kind of brain set. You know, fighting on the back foot is very, very tiring. You know what I mean, he's a master at that, and pushing the other guys and making them fight on the back foot. You know, skill set for skill set, he's obviously better than Derek, but I wasn't that impressed when he fought Witherspoon. And I must admit that I felt like, you know, that Chaz Witherspoon was getting, you know, having medium success in there. You know, I'm not sure if it was, maybe I was looking for flaws, so maybe I found them, you know, that kind of thing, I don't know. Or if I just wanted to accept it for what it was. But, you know, I felt like he didn't move as well. And I've heard in the grapevine there's been, you know, he had an arm injury, which he had surgery on while he was out for a while, or something like that anyway. Now him facing Derek, you know, is a tall order for Derek. You know, Derek is, you know, if you look at the Senegashi fight, he had a lot of problems with Senegashi southpaw moving a lot because he felt like Senegashi wasn't engaging and he had to chase him. And if you notice, he does tend to have hard fights with people who tend to move a lot. But then when you look at the Spilka fight, he went in there and Polak Spilka and absolutely nearly decapitated him. You know what I mean? But then you got people talking about, you know, Spilka, you know, was winning against Deontay Wilder until he got Polaks in the 9th round or whatever.
Yeah,
but then when you look at this, it's many years, different fighters, wear and tear over life, growing old over time and stuff like that. So we can't take that into too much when you look at it. But what I will say is, I've got a cruiserweight fighter. He's been one of Derek's main sparring partners for a while, and Derek's looking strong. He's looking mean. He's looking fit. He's got a few different guys in his camp that are, you know, bringing the best out of him, and they've been pushing him. He looks strong. He looks mean. He's letting his hands go. What I'd like to see is how he deals with Usyk. None of these guys are Usyk. As much as they're southpaws and they're doing stuff, none of them are Usyk. None of them have that southpaw genius IQ brain. They probably have IQ to a degree, but then there wasn't, you know, unified world champion and so on and so forth. So let's see how it all plays out. But, you know, what I'd like to see, you know, Derek cutting the ring and getting into punching range and letting his hands go. I'd like to see how Usyk takes getting punched from a real solid heavyweight who punches with bad intention, who punches to try and decapitate you, punches to try and break your ribs, your spleen, and whatever he can. Even if he punches you on the hips, he's trying to do damage, you know? And that's what Chisora is going to bring. He's going to bring that war. And as a UK guy, I want him to win. Does he win? We're going to see Saturday night. It is a very tall order. But I'm sure all of the UK fans you know, would like him to win. But we're going to see Saturday night because he's in against a grandmaster. But what we will look at is Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. There was another grandmaster who got outmastered by another wizard. So, you know, it can happen. It can happen. Dillian Povetkin, you know, one wizard against another, and the older guy came out on top. So there's scope for belief that things can, and the underdog can have his day. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, weight could play like a massive difference in this because, like, take David A for example. You know, cruiserweight to heavyweight, 2-weight world champion, carried some of the power over at heavyweight as well when he fought Valuev and was it? I forgot the Mexican heavyweight's name there. He fought him as well. Not
which one? Who fought him?
David Hay did. He fought. What was his name?
So who you talking about?
Jumping up from heavyweight to from cruiserweight to heavyweight.
Yeah.
That's what Usyk is literally doing, isn't he? So he's
yeah. So David fought Valuev at heavyweight.
Valuev, and he fought another chap as well at heavyweight as well over in Manchester. I forgot the box reference.
Was it is it Ruiz, that guy, or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I'll definitely.
Yeah, I think there was
another Ruiz, not obviously the Ruiz that.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, another Ruiz. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I remember. That's what I'm thinking. There was.
So to carry the weight over from cruiserweight to heavyweight, some people have done it, and it's kind of like I think David did carry that sort of power. So
yeah, he carried the power over.
Yeah.
Not many of them do. So, and what happens is, if you know, they might carry the power over them. What happens? They lose speed also.
Yeah.
Because you know, if they put weight on their legs or their shoulders to increase punching power and size, you know, something goes. You know what I mean? It's either going to be speed, the leg work, the power. You know, I don't know. And then even getting punched by a true solid heavyweight becomes something different, which they're not used to. The shock of their body could go into shock. And but you know what? Usyk did fight at. Did he fight at super heavyweight as an amateur?
I'm sure he fought. He fought Joe Joyce, didn't he?
Yeah, he fought Joe Joyce
at super heavyweight.
Yeah, so I watched that quite a few times. That was quite an interesting fight. Yeah, so you know what I mean. But like I said, it's definitely a fight, a tantalizing fight that people want to see. People are engaged with, and people are captivated because it's the what ifs. Can he do what David Haye did and go up and become, a champion at heavyweight? Everyone's talking about that he's going to go on and look past Chisora, and he's going to go on beat Chisora and fight Anthony Joshua because he become one of the mandatories at the top of that title. But look, they shouldn't be looking past Derek because Derek's very strong. He's very brutal, and I mean, it's gonna be explosive. If you listen to David Haye, you think it's a foregone conclusion that Derek's got it in the bag. David Haye is a hell of a salesman. I tell you that for free. He can sell bloody sand to the Arabs, and it's theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really interesting fight, and we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if Usyk does win, then I suppose then it's looking to see who the other heavyweights are: Anthony Joshua, Fury, Dillian Whyte, Joseph Parker. So people that are true heavyweights and kind of reigning supreme of that sort of division at the moment for years as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
That sort of era, isn't it? What other fights are you interested in? Because are you interested in the Gervonta Davis and the Santa Cruz fight as well? That's going to be a good fight, isn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, I'm a boxing fan, man. All the fights that are available, I tune in, I watch, I study, I listen, and I learn. That's an amazing fight because Carl Frampton is the only man to beat Santa Cruz. And Santa Cruz is a hell of a champ. He's work ethic, he's non-stop punching. His story of him coming from where he's come from in his life in Mexico and his dad having cancer, catching COVID and stuff like that. If you watch what's going on with them, they've got a great story, Yeah. He lost to Frampton, got the rematch, regained, he seeks revenge and got reenacted that. And then now coming in, you look at Gervonta Davis coming from Baltimore, coming from that you might as well call it it's like a rock harbor in Baltimore, war-torn, where there's a lot of gang violence and stuff, and then catching up. He said he's dedicated about 25 years of his life, or 20 years of his life in boxing to get to this moment, So he's got it all to do, and by no means a stretch of the imagination, it is a hard fight. He's got that power, he's southpaw, so those kind of things might go in his favor. But what we've seen from Santa Cruz is a champion who's been at the top end of the sport for a long time, and he's there for a reason. And one thing, he keeps punching in volumes, punches and bunches, and he'll just be there. The thing is, have we seen him being punched by someone with the kind of punching power Gervonta Davis carries? This is what's we're gonna see if he can take his punches, and if Gervonta Davis can not be overwhelmed by the volume of punches Santa Cruz from. We're in for a good fight, and we're going to see, his pay-per-view, his first pay-per-view, and obviously he's got Floyd there. So they've got a good team of people behind him. But we're gonna truly see what Gervonta Davis is about come Saturday night, and we're going to see if Santa Cruz has anything left. And he says, "Yo, listen, I'm here. I've been here for a while. This young upstart ain't going to come and unroll me and put me to pasture." So I think it's a good fight. It's a very, very good fight. If you're a boxing fan and a true boxing fan, fights like these, you'll be truly impressed with watching. Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting time because I think this year it's kind of the year where you can't just pick like a foregone conclusion who's going to win straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
COVID's made a massive statement, hasn't it, in terms of people's training and everything like that. And anything's up for grabs, isn't it, nowadays?
I think what it's done also, the promoters now are more keen to put on better fights, more solid fights, 50-50 fights more, there's a lot for everyone to do. If you're looking at this, I think the other day in Milton Keynes, Matchroom had that show. There was a lot of upsets for the home side, i.e. Matchroom, and then again in Newcastle, was it? I think that's where most of the upsets actually was. I think there was a few on that card, but I think the Newcastle card was where there's a lot of uproar.
Yeah, Joe Laws lost, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Lewis got a really close decision.
Yeah, against Vasquez, and they was talking about the judging. Is it? I can't remember his name. The fella now. Exactly, using his phone and stuff. He was cleared. Of course, he was cleared. You know, we're all blind. We didn't see a phone. It was a, you know, maybe it was a book. I don't know. He was writing down some notes. But I mean, listen, this is the time of the underdog. You know, if any prima donnas think because they're with Matchroom or anything like that, or they believe they're the A side because they're with Matchroom and they're not working hard enough, you will get caught out, because the likes of the boys who are coming from where they're coming from sometimes want it more and believe more. And as it showed on those occasions there, you know, they pulled off the upset. So, you know, it's difficult times, but this is the time now. Things are going on. We've got another monster fight on the weekend with Inoue and Maloney. Maloney's someone that can punch as well. I think he had 24 fights. He's had 1 loss. And he's had 18 knockouts or something crazy like that. So he carries power also. But the monster is the monster, Inoue, man. I like him. But what did my man say? My man say, no, he's not a monster. He's a turtle. He's a turtle. You know, the next short one, I can't remember. He's funny. Pacquiao, he's Pacquiao 2.0, but I think he's managed by Pacquiao as well. I can't remember. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Benito Donet, when he fought him. Is that what you?
No, not him. There's another guy he's a big puncher. Right now his name is slipping me, but he's amazing for the sport. He's good. He's funny, and I think he wants to fight. You know, he wants to fight Inoue. He's from the Philippines, I believe.
Okay.
Right now his name is slipping me, but it happens. I can't remember everything. But he's a hell of a fighter. He's got good punching power. He came here and fought on the Frank Warren show in Birmingham and took the belt away from Tete.
Yes.
I remember most things. Casemiro.
Yes.
There you go. I can't remember everything. My brain's good, but, you know, as I'm getting on, I can't remember everything.
Yeah, that's been literally a year ago, wasn't it? The Hamza Shiraz when he won the double.
Yeah, exactly. You recall? You were there? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you flew out to Saudi Arabia, didn't you, for the not so long
yes.
Afterwards. And you exactly on the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Roger that, the captain.
Time flies on.
But Casemiro, whatever he's called, he's brilliant for the sport. He's funny, he's charismatic, he's jovial, he likes to laugh, and he got rid of the other undefeated kid the other day. And now he's talking about fighting him. He made a statement. They're saying he's a monster. He ain't no monster. He's a turtle. I'm gonna beat him. He's scared of me. He's his broken English. But I mean, like, listen, boxing is about characters, and this is another character with a hell of a resume, extreme punching power, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see him against Inoue or the winner of Maloney and Inoue, because I can't jump the gun and see who is who. Maloney, we did an interview with him the other day. He's very confident, he's raring, and he's a nice guy. So, you know, I'd like to see who wins that, and may the best man win.
Speaking of characters, Anthony Joshua and Pulev. Now, that fight was going to happen a few years ago. It's going to happen this year now. How do you see that one going down? I mean, that's going to be another tough fight for AJ, isn't it? Or do you think?
Yeah, no, of course it's going to be a tough fight. This is an elite fighter. And, you know, I think it was about 2 years ago he won his position and he sat on the sidelines and waited it out. You know, maybe because he's a bit older in his career, in his years and career, that he didn't want to take any chances like Dillian done and have a mishap like that. And he sat on that sidelines and now it's going to pay dividends. To all the people that's out there, I did say the other day that I heard a whisper, just a whisper, that he might be injured and there might be a replacement. But it is a whisper. I didn't say it was categorically correct. So just, you know, confirmation for those who, you know, sometimes people take everything for gospel. When you hear something, it's not always true. Sometimes it's, you know, rumor mongering, people spread. And I said to, you know, we can take it tongue in cheek, but I did hear that was the case. And sometimes you hear that with people. What happens is they actually might have an injury. They end up fighting. And then what happens is after the fight, it comes out, I was injured. I was going to pull out. and then I thought with the injury, this is why I lost, and this is my excuse. So, for the smart asses in the comments, this is, sometimes what you hear. I do chat to a lot of people, and I think the person who said it to me is credible enough to, maybe have, a close link to that. But look, he looks online. I've seen him. He's training. He's doing his thing. He looks well, but that doesn't mean he's not carrying a slight injury. Most fighters in training camps, hard training camps, have multiple injuries they've acquired because you're pushing your body to the limit. You're straining and pushing and trying to get the maximum out of your body. And sometimes your body just says enough's enough. And, a lot of fighters, because there's a lot of money on the line for yourself, the promotional company, they still go through it, and fight. So, people got to understand the business side of it and when people say anything. But hey, it is what it is. I thought I'd just get a little bit of clarification on that.
No, that's fine.
But look,
I've seen that rumor as well, floating about online. But again, it's what you just said. It's not based on this is the actual truth. It's just a rumor at the moment, right? So I've seen
exactly. Going back to the fight, Pulev. I can't see anything Pulev has that's gonna be dangerous. He's a heavyweight. He can punch. He can box. Got a good jab. But I don't know if you're basing it off Vladimir, long jab, beat him up, pulled him around, just battered him for the duration. If we're looking at the Joshua who was who fought Ruiz in Saudi, box silky, smooth, used his jab, used the ring. That kind of Joshua there, Pulev just doesn't have a chance. He's not even going to see him. He's not even going to touch him. You know what I mean? That kind of movement, it's just going to be like, when people talk about the masterclass with Usyk and high box, it's going to be similar to that because that Joshua there, that boxed and moved, he did look silky, looks good, and he didn't take any chances. Sharp shot, just got the job done. But what I believe will happen is maybe he'll come out boxing, do the boxing moving, and once he's got him hurt, the old Joshua is going to come out and he's going to go swinging for it and get an emphatic knockout and destruction and get rid of him. But I mean, Pulev's a sound fighter. He's been around the game a long time, in his elite level. Because look, he's right at the top. He's fighting for the belt, and I think he knows how to handle himself. But I just believe Joshua will be too big, too strong on the night, and I think he might catch him and get him out of there.
Good stuff. Just before we wrap up, just wanted your thoughts on Brook versus Crawford, because that's massive, that's big. That's going to be it's literally 2 weeks ago away now, isn't it?
It's a brilliant fight. It's a really, really good fight. I mean, I like Brook. I was with Kel in Vegas before the lockdown. I spent a bit of time with him. I had breakfast with him in the morning. Went out partying with him, his old man and his whole crew. He seems good. Where he is in his career, he wants big fights. He wants to fight for the titles. He wants to make big money. It's a very, very tall order yet again. You know what I mean? But does he have the skill set to go out there and compete and make it an evenish fight? Yeah, I believe he does. Does he have the capability to pull it off? Anything can happen in boxing. I don't want to, the UK guy, I don't want to underestimate him. But for me, I'm not going to lie. When I look at Crawford, I talk about the pound for pound best in the world. That's what I look at. I know everyone was talking about Lomo. When they were talking about Lomo, I was talking about Crawford. Because Crawford, bud, he can box southpaw, he can box orthodox. He unified the division just below him. He came up and he's doing his thing. And he went and look, he went and did he beat Khan? He beat Khan, right?
Crawford did, yeah, he beat Khan.
Yeah, I can't remember what happened in that fight. I remember that fight. So, and Khan is good. Khan,
wasn't it? I think.
Did he went decision or?
Yeah, I think it was a technical TKO.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like I said, the database can only carry so much at sometimes. But I remember he won. But what I look at is, I felt like Khan would give Brook a decent fight as well, but I felt like maybe Brook might win because he just seemed stronger, punched a little bit stronger. Kell Brook is very, very good at the basic stuff. His jab is good. He's solid all round, and he has a goal. You know what I mean? As you saw against Errol Spence, early in that fight, he was giving Spence a lot of trouble.
I think he was up in the first 6, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I feel like he's a few years on from that now. It's what, 2-3 years later. So, you know, but for me, I've got like Crawford and then maybe Canelo as pound for pound 1 and 2. Some might argue, if you want to argue about pay-per-view and money and what they bring to the table, then you'd have Canelo as number 1. But if you're talking about overall skill and what they've won, I know Canelo was he 4 division world champion, something crazy like I don't even know.
If you count the light heavyweight division as well, what he took from Kovalev.
Yeah, if you count that, yeah. But I mean, skill set for skill set, I'm going with Crawford. But I mean, listen, Crawford's been that guy, man. Bud Crawford, man, hell of a fighter. And I mean, it's an interesting fight. I'm can't wait to see the outcome. You know, UK countryman. I wish him all the best. I hope he does go out there and maybe does something that proves everyone wrong. You know what I mean? But it's a hard task. But I'm a big fan of Crawford as well. So let's see what happens, man. But wish them both all the best.
Good stuff. Just very finally, Dean, have you got any shout-outs? Anything you want to add to this? Or?
Yeah, just probably shout out the Black Box team that's working around the clock as always with me, training the boys and doing stuff. Yeah, got the cat, yeah. And maybe I got a new signing in Cheryl Brown. She a female signing, first woman signing. It's going into the era where that's the times. She's was a standout amateur. She was like, I think she won ABAs about 3-4 years in a row. She won the Tri-Nations twice, and I think a few other stuff. So she was quite decorated. Was on the GB and stuff like that. And I think they took her 2 divisions away, so she didn't get into that. She was boxed for England. Now she's a pro of, I think, 6-0, 2 knockouts, sanctioned for the European title in January. So I'm hoping for good. She's a silver international champion at the minute. I'm hoping for good stuff for her. I'm just trying to see if one of the big boys, probably Eddie, Matchroom, to try and take her up. I've been talking to them. They've got a lot of girls down there. I think that's a great mix for her to be in that kind of company. She deserves a chance. But let's see how it all progresses and what, if anything, can be done. Let's see, because UK is buzzing right now with female fighters. But on Saturday, I think they've got about, was it 3 women fighters on, or was it 2? When's Savannah Marshall fighting? Is she fighting Saturday?
Yep, Savannah Marshall's fighting for the title this Saturday. And
then there's someone else just been added, another girl, AJ San, and then there's another one. So there's 3. Yeah, three fights. Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting time for the women's boxing and stuff like that. So I mean, she's, people know who she is, man. She's in and around that argument. I believe she just deserves a chance to mix it with the best. And I've got my other fighters, Ivy Porter, Cruiserweight, waiting to make his debut. Steed Woodall, hopefully, super middleweight, he should be out soon. Sam Antwi, another one. A lot of people know. Not a lot of people want to fight him. I think he's like 12-1 or 11-1. I'm not too sure, but he's very talented. So a lot of things there for the Black Box family. We continue to build and grow, and just be patient. And our turn will come. Obviously, because of COVID, a lot of things have been held up, and it's kind of tiring because everyone's on my phone. When am I fighting? When's this? When's that? And it's hard because I want them to fight. I would never hold them up intentionally. I try and do the best as I can, but COVID has played a part, and just like the rest of the world and people who are boxing, they've got to wait their turn. A lot of the elite boys in any camp, like if you're in Frank Warren or Matchroom, are getting a nod ahead of boys or girls who are coming up because of finances. Everyone's had to take a haircut, a shaving money, to get on the cards and stuff like that, because that's part and parcel of the gig. But no, it's brilliant times right now, man. We just got to continue building and learning, and be thankful that we were alive. There's a lot of people that's passed in this COVID times and the horrible times we're in. So we just need to be thankful that we're here still plodding along and being able to do what we need to do in this pandemic. I must add that bit there. The pandemic. It's all dodgy. Don't trust him. But anyway, we move on, but we still must give thanks because, you know, life is precious and lots of people have passed, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, interesting times, man. Follow the Black Box movement and our apparel stuff coming soon. You know what I mean? It's all love.
Good stuff, Dean. Thank you so much from the boxing.
Thank you very much.
We will catch up soon, and all the best for Dillian's rematch and everything else as well.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, man.
So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.